We happen to sell beds, but we solve sleep solutions. And that's our number one issue. If you have trouble getting into bed, you have trouble staying in bed, you have trouble being comfortable in bed, and it's based on electrical beds, if you have trouble controlling the bed, you have trouble staying healthy in the bed, this is something we focus on. I can't tell you tomorrow what our product mix will be, but I can tell you tomorrow we will be solving sleep problems. And that's all we've ever done from day one. And that's going to allow us to stay because our focus is on the solution. It's not on selling more of frame X, Y, and Z. It never has been. America is graying, and as it grays, it's going to seek ways to extend the quality of life, and we've positioned TransferMaster to be an important part of that future for the country. You know how many families we've kept that really desperately wanted to keep somebody at home, but they became overwhelmed. Let's say you, husband or wife, a 98-pound wife with a 300-pound husband. She's desperate. How's she going to get him in and out of bed? Let's say he's a stroke victim or some other form of paralysis. It's too much. So we create a bedroom environment where gravity can work to their advantage, and she can extend the quality of their lives together at home without having to put the husband into a facility. We've heard that story over and over and over. And we had one story that I got a call from a man who had a daughter and a son-in-law young, both very athletic. The son-in-law unfortunately had a horrific skiing accident, and the needs of taking care of him was destroying the daughter. She simply had to get up every 2 hours to turn her husband, and as much as she loved him, she started falling apart. She just simply wasn't wired physically to be able to cope with it. So he asked us, can we help? So we designed a special dual king system for them, where the husband was on a computerized turning system, and the father took out his money from his retirement plan to buy the system, and afterwards he wrote his most beautiful letter, how it saved the marriage, saved their sanity, saved their health, and allowed them to march on in life together, you know. Often the case for the bed, it's not only just the user, but it's the people around the user too that need the help. Often the customer has a general need, but have zero idea which door to go through. So once they knock on our door and we open it, we start to say, okay, let us take you through this process together. And through that, they'll hear about the things that they wouldn't even consider themselves that are critical in the effective functionality of the bed. And as a result, they relax very quickly over the phone when they hear the questions are meaningful, thoughtful, and pointed really to what they need and how their bed should work for them. So as a result, we're able to give the bed the lowest cost option with the most function by clearly understanding what they need. We're very pleased by the response that we get. And the fact is that we've got many, many clients who've bought second and third times for us. So you might ask yourself, if the bed lasts so long, well, why do you need a bed to get, to buy it again? Well, sometimes people buy one bed when they're single, and they get married. They have a different environment. Some people are a little bit more affluent. They have a few homes. Some people, it's the reverse. Sometimes they were married and they bought a dual king, and unfortunately one of the spouses left the world, but they still like the bed, but they want a bigger bed now for themselves. Sometimes their conditions change. Mm-hmm. Many times we can evolve the bed with the client, but sometimes we need to step it up to a higher function. And we've had clients that, sadly have had issues progress. We've dealt with a lot of the ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease clientele, and we've had to continually modify their beds, when they might come into us initially with pretty high function, and then later as the issues progress, they need us to modify for simpler controls. They might modify it so they can put a Hoyer lift underneath the bed, and these evolutions make the TransferMaster bed more of an investment because it can follow their needs as they change. What I see is that as the population ages, companies like TransferMaster are going to become more and more important. More often than not, people are going to try and extend their ability to be independent. They're going to want to extend their ability to maintain their dignity. And they're going to look for a way, that a company that's got experience in providing that kind of a product. And we believe in one thing, doing it right, doing it once, and doing it for an affordable price. And we don't plan to change that model whatsoever, no matter what the mix is, as long as it's solving sleep problems.